Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Fearless Generations with Terry Sayer and Kelly Fox.
Hello and welcome to Fearless Generations 12 Steps to Freedom. It is Kelly Fox and we are here wrapping up Step 1, Awareness. Tonight is Integration Night, and so we are talking all things awareness that we have discussed this month, as well as anything else that we want to add in before we wrap up the month of awareness. I'm excited to finish the month of awareness. Awareness runs throughout all of the steps to freedom. It is the first step in anything that we do. We have to become aware to be able to know that something needs to shift or something needs to change. And it is in that knowing that change happens. So I'm excited to be able to start this conversation one more time and to discuss what is it that may keep us from awareness, or what might keep us from wanting to be aware. I think that fear definitely is something that keeps us from wanting to be aware of what's going on or aware of things that we don't like. We definitely, as humans, like to keep our blinders on, be very focused or narrow-minded, because it's easier that way. There's less choices that way, and so there's less fear. When there's only one way to do it, then there's no fear of doing it wrong, right? So it's normal as humans to not want to open up and expand our view and become aware of those small details or small bits of information that we have been ignoring or looking past for a while, so that the situation remains safe or remains easy or remains known to us. And I think that was one thing that during the pandemic, a lot of people had to slow down enough and had to stay stationary enough and were around, the same people enough that those blinders came off and people started to see where shifts needed to happen for them. And there was a lot of change during the pandemic. A lot of people got really uncomfortable with the situations they found themselves in and, needed to do things differently. Started new relationships, ended old relationships, moved, maybe got a little too comfortable being inside and isolated. Some going, cabin fever for being inside and isolated. We became very aware how much we like or don't like being around people. And I think that coming out of the pandemic now for a while, people are seeing where are those holes that the pandemic created, and how can they push themselves and increase their comfort zone, expand that comfort zone to include, more social gatherings, or include more hobbies, or include being out in nature more. Whatever it is that they became aware of in that time where they weren't allowed to be around other people or weren't allowed to be out in public, at least maybe they felt that way. Not everybody addressed the pandemic in the same way, but we definitely hunkered down and we're around each other more often, and 8 people being constantly in a house and almost all of them being on the computer at the same time doing work or school, it became a little intense. And we definitely spent more time together than we normally had. And things shifted, some for the better, some not, but it definitely increased our awareness and our awareness of each other, and how we can be there for each other, and how we need to be there for each other. So what were awarenesses that you had or have had since the pandemic, or in the past month as we have studied and gone over awareness? What have you become aware of, and what are you now looking forward and seeing how you can shift as we go into the next month, which is step 2, which is willingness? How willing are we to make those shifts? How willing are we to do those things that we have now become aware of? How willing are we to shift them? How willing are we to change them? How willing are we to expand them? And that's what we'll be looking at as we go into next month. And, it's interesting to me, each time we go through these steps, new awarenesses come, new opportunities to shift, new opportunities to expand the way that I look at things, the way I look at people, and the way I look at myself and my process. And I think that that's why us doing the same 12 steps each year, works, because each time it comes back around, we're different people, we're going through different things, we're experiencing different things. And so the step supports us in a new way and expands and grows and shifts in a new way, because I'm not the same person I was 12 months ago when we did this the last time. And so I hope that each time you come up to awareness in your life, you are approaching it from a different place as well, because we are constantly growing and changing. It's a fact of being human, and in this life and in the world, everything is always constantly moving and changing, and so are we. And so what are your awarenesses of that constant change and movement? And that is what awareness is, and it's that constant awareness, that constant consciousness of where you are and what's going on and who are you in this moment. It definitely plays into step 6, which is present moment. Are you being present in that moment? Are you becoming more aware of what's going on with you in the present moment? Or are you more reflecting backwards? Can I then look forward and prepare myself for that situation in the future? Or are we in that present moment? I think that awareness is also in all the other steps, but, with connection, step 3, definitely we have to be aware of ourselves and what's going on with ourselves and what's going on with others, and why their behavior or their ability to be present is shifted by their awareness. Awareness is, like I said, in every step, and we can only shift or change as much as we are aware of. So we definitely want to continue staying aware. We want to continue keeping our eyes open and our ears open and our heart open to whatever comes before us, whoever comes before us, whatever risks come before us, and really keep ourselves open to possibilities, step 8, and what is possible, but also what is necessary, or what is desired? Maybe that's a better word. What is desired to continue along this path of creating the life that we want to live, creating the person we want to be, creating the reality that we choose to have? You know, what is that process, and who is that person? What does she look like? What does she desire? What does she sound like? What does she do? How does she feel as she lives this life that she has created? And these are all awarenesses. And when we can be really clear on who it is we want to be, and how it would feel and look and taste and whatever, how it would be to be that person, we can more easily recognize when we get there. We can more easily recognize when we are getting there, because we will be feeling and experiencing and seeing and saying and thinking those things that we said we would if we were that person. So it's really good to always be constantly becoming more and more aware and more clear on what it is that we are wanting, what we are doing, what we are desiring, what we are creating, because then we'll more likely be able to see, hey, this is working. Hey, I'm shifting. I'm changing. Hey, that is not how I would have reacted 2 days ago, a month ago, a year ago. I am becoming a new person. When we write our acknowledgments and our gratitudes, we can become more aware of how easily it is becoming to write acknowledgments, or how much easier it is to see the gratitudes in our days. And we can see how the universe or God or spirit or whoever you have in your way of understanding is for our good, is wanting our success, is supporting us to be happy and joyful in our lives. And we see all of the blessings. We see all of the grace. We see all of the guidance. We listen to our intuition. We do those things that we have committed to be able to stay on the path in the way towards the person we want to become. And these are all things that are affected by awareness. As we are aware of our risks and our ability to take them and how it's becoming easier, and we see the expansion of our comfort zone, we see further out into our risk zone and our die zone, we see that all of these things are coming to us and that they are becoming more believable, and we're believing ourselves to be more capable. And as we inch our way towards them, we see even more and more possibilities and opportunities and excitement and adventure coming our way. I think that awareness is just the beginning. It's just that first toe into the water, or that first crack of light in the door. It's the dawn of a new day. Awareness is that first step to start on the path towards freedom. And ultimately, that's what we want. We want freedom, not only from fear, but freedom from any aspect or symptom of fear, freedom from self-doubt, freedom from anxiety, depression, freedom from that feeling that you're not enough of whatever your fear is telling you you're not enough of, so that you can live the life that you want to live. You can live a life where you feel free to make any choice, go anywhere. You may not make that choice. You may choose something else, but it's not because of fear that you do it. You choose that other choice out of freedom, out of your ability to choose what you want before you and what you have before you. The step this month is the 4 A's, and I'm sure that we have talked about it before, but to just go over it again, the 4 A's, the first A of the 4 A's is acknowledge. So we're going to acknowledge that we're having a feeling, that we're having a thought, that we're feeling a specific way about a specific situation, whatever we are going through, we're going to acknowledge that. And we're just gonna say, hey, I'm feeling this way. We're not gonna judge it. We're not gonna attach a story to it. We're not gonna give it any more weight than it has. We're just gonna acknowledge that it's there, that we're experiencing it. We're human, and part of the human experience is to have feelings and thoughts. It doesn't mean we're bad. It doesn't mean we're good. It just is a thought. It's an energy source that is flowing through us, and if we allow it, which is A number 2, if we allow it to process and we allow it to flow through us, it will go. It will just go right through us, through our head, out our toes, is how I imagine it. And if we can refrain from attaching a story to it or a meaning to it, it will just flow right through us. And it will take us to third A, which is ask. And we're going to ask ourselves, okay, what am I committed to in this moment or with this person or in this situation? Where are my commitments? What are my commitments to myself, to others, to my process? What am I committed to? And so we're going to acknowledge, that is the first A. We're going to allow, which is the second A, and then we're going to ask, which is the third A. So once we have acknowledged, allowed our feelings to process, and we've asked ourselves, okay, what are we committed to? Then we act on our commitments. So the fourth A is act. We act on our commitments, not on our feelings. So if we get upset and we yell and scream and then we stomp off, we may have acted on our feelings instead of, okay, I'm upset right now, and allowing that to process through us and asking ourselves, okay, what are we committed to? I'm committed to showing up as a loving, caring, open-hearted person. Okay, so a loving, caring, open-hearted person may not stomp away. They may still walk away, but they may not stomp away. So we hold ourselves to those commitments that we've made with ourselves. So we acknowledge, we allow, we ask, and we act on our commitments. So sometimes people can really get stuck on the second A, which is allow. They feel like, okay, they've acknowledged they're upset, and then they move right on to, okay, what am I committed to? But it's really important for us to allow ourselves to feel. We don't want to push them down. We don't want to push them away. We don't want to ignore them. We want to allow them to process. We want to allow them to have their moment, acknowledge them, honor them, allow them to have their time, to allow yourself to have that time to process. It doesn't go quickly every time. It's sometimes a process. It's sometimes feeling that feeling and allowing it to move through us more than once. Maybe it's 3 times a day, and then it's 2 times a day, and then it's 1 time a day, and then it's 1 time only 4 days out of the week. Sometimes it takes us a time to process those feelings. And yes, we're still asking ourselves and acting on our commitments as we process those feelings, but we continue to allow ourselves to process. We continue to allow ourselves the time to feel. And when action needs to be taken, we do take that action according to our commitments so that our actions are in alignment with who we are and how we want to show up. So the first step is to acknowledge, is to be aware and to acknowledge, hey, I'm feeling this way. And then allow that feeling permission to process. And then also asking yourself, what are you committed to? So you need clarity and awareness around what are you committed to, and then to act on those commitments. So having awareness on what are those next steps for you to move forward from this feeling or this situation. What are those next steps for you to take to move beyond that feeling or beyond that situation, where you can move from that situation in alignment with your commitments, in alignment with who you are, your values, your core identity. We want to stay in alignment with that person who we really are. We don't want others or situations to affect who we are and how we show up. We want that to be governed by us, by our inner values and priorities and core beingness, not by outside forces. And so as we ask ourselves, what are we committed to, and then act on that, then it's coming from who we are instead of being affected by what is around us. So those are the 4 A's. Acknowledge, allow, ask, and act. If you have any questions on the 4 A's, please reach out to us. We are here for you anytime you need us. The easiest place to get us is on Facebook Messenger, but you can also email us at kelly@fearlessgenerations.org. I look at my emails several times a day, so you can also reach us that way. Or you can reach out for us on the website, which is fearlessgenerations.org. To let you know of some things that we have going on right now, we have let you know that Stepping Towards Freedom, our group program, has started back up, and we are moving forward into November for Step 2, which is willingness, and we're super excited. We hope you are willing to join us. If you would like more information about that, go to the website. There is a page or 2 all about it and all of the benefits, perks, and value that comes along with that program. Also, there is a button to click where you can set up a call with me, and we can discuss it even further to make sure that it's the right thing for you and you're in the right place to take advantage of it all right now. And then there's also workshops that are available every month. This month, we've already done all our workshops, but our free workshop is coming up in December on the 2nd Saturday of the month from 10 to 11:30. So we would love to see you there, and it's free. It's an hour and a half of your time, and you will learn the foundation of what is fear, how is it affecting you physically and mentally, and starting that process of moving towards fear mastery. We also have a small fee workshop on the 4th Monday of the month, and that will be a chance for you to learn more about one of the four tools, foundational tools of fearless living. So this month or next month in November, the tool is, or the no is no excuses. And the tool is using this wonderful thing called a life log. And it helps you majorly increase your awareness around what it is that you're doing all day and what do you really have time for and what do you really not have time for? And what are you choosing to do and what are you feeling like you have to do? A life log you can use in a lot of different ways, and we're going to teach you at least one way to use it during that workshop and how you can really up your awareness and you can eliminate a lot of those excuses that you've got going on that are holding you back from stepping forward and creating more of the life that you're wanting to live. So we'll be doing that on the fourth Monday of the month from 5:30 to 7. It's also an hour and a half, and we would love for you to join us for that. And those are both on the website under virtual workshops. We also want to let you know that we had a planning session this weekend, and we planned out our next year. And our membership mastermind classes are going to remain on the first Saturday of the month from 9 to 10 Pacific, and the third Thursday from 4 to 5 Pacific, where you can come in, mastermind, get coaching, learn tools, whatever it is that you're needing to help you stay fearless. That's what it's called, Staying Fearless. We invite you to come one time, no charge whatsoever, to check it out. You can also find that on the website under Staying Fearless. As well as we want to let you know that Terry and I are planning an in-person retreat. We are so super excited. We're going to be doing it the third weekend in September. We don't have all of the nitty-gritty done yet. We're not positive on location, but it is going to be the third weekend of September. I believe it's the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd, and we are super excited to get that going. It is the Pathways of Change, so the 12 Steps to Freedom. It's going to be what we cover in a year, we're going to cover in 2 days. It is intense. It is amazing. We love this workshop, which is why during the pandemic we turned it into a group program called Stepping Towards Freedom. And it's also why 9 years ago we chose to teach these steps here on the podcast. We love this information. We know how powerful it is. We have seen the transformations. We have experienced the transformations, and it's really my favorite workshop to be a part of or to share with others. And I'm super excited that we're going to be able to do it in person, face to face again. So that is September 20th, 21st, and 22nd of 2004. Get it on your calendars. Make sure that you have it saved so that you can be with us, because we want you with us. And more information about that will be up on the website once we get all of the details ironed out on the location. We are researching places at this time so that we can find the best location to do it that works for us and works for all of you who will be coming to join us in Stroudville, California, or Tulare, California, or wherever it is we bring us all together. But wherever it is, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be convenient for you to get to, and it's going to be conducive for massive transformation. So we are so looking forward to all of these opportunities that we have out there for you to become more fearless, to learn more of these tools, to be on your pathway to freedom and fear mastery. That is why we bring this podcast to you every week. And next month we have lots of great guest coaches lined up. We're super excited to bring them your way and to see what willingness will bring. So until next week, everybody, be fearless.
Morning people wake up for peace and quiet. McDonald's breakfast people, we wake up for the sweet rush of getting that warm, delicious breakfast right before it ends.
Be a McDonald's breakfast person with a sausage McMuffin with egg. Get 2 for just $6. And pair it with an any-size soft drink like a refreshing Coke for just $1.49. Order ahead in the app to save time. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.